Hello everyone and welcome to another Gigabyte P35W laptop test and review, and in this particular video I'm going to focus on the keyboard of the laptop. So let's start with some of the basics. First of all, it's a full chiclet keyboard with a number pad on the right hand side and some function keys along the top. We also have the W, A, S and D keys highlighted because this is supposed to be geared towards gamers, but in reality they don't really provide much because everybody who plays games probably knows where these keys are. Cursor keys on most laptops tend to be completely different in their style, and again this one has what you might call a quirky setup in that it looks ordinary, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. They're positioned down here, right of the keyboard, left of the number pad, and as you can see there are similar sized two keys surrounding them. That has a little bit of a disadvantage because without having to look down on the keyboard you aren't necessarily sure that your hand will travel onto them to find the keys correctly. What do I mean by that? Well, if we compare it to a Chromebook I have, which is an 11.6 inch keyboard, they've really had to cram in the cursor keys here, and these two arrow keys up and down, although they are tiny, because they are unique in the way they feel, they have almost a tactile response to them, so I can drag my finger down to these keys in roughly the right area without looking at the keys, and that means I can quickly use them to navigate. And it's a similar story with my rather old and very dirty laptop. The style here is much reduced size keys, but you have these sections here which aren't actually keys, but again it does give you the tactile feedback you want in order to quickly go back to these keys and be able to find them without having to look at the keyboard. And that's not necessarily the case on the Gigabyte one, as all the keys surrounding the cursor keys are similar. The key set itself is in a shallow well, as you can see here, as there is a groove which indicates that the keys are slightly lowered from where the chassis of the laptop is. And again here, if I put my finger down the side, you can see that there is just a slight indentation where the keys are. The keys themselves are plastic, but they feel solid enough. However, like the rest of the laptop, they seem to have this sheen to them, which means that they do pick up moisture from your fingers, and so they leave a lot of finger marks, as indicated here. As you can see, if I just stroke my finger around it, you can see that I'm leaving marks. So all this space bar here kind of leaves a bit of a sweaty mark to it. So yes, it is a finger magnet. If I scroll my camera over here, you can see more examples here of finger marks being left. So this, as like the rest of the laptop, does potentially have the possibility to get a bit grubby as you use the keyboard more. This is what happens if I try and just put my finger on the key, but not press it, but just try and move it. You can feel like there's a bit of give, and it does rock around on its pivot a little bit. And now I'm just going to press on one of the keys to show you the different types of pressure the key takes and also the sound it makes when I use different types of pressure. Notice that this is a K button, which is more or less dead center of the keyboard, and this is where you see this flexing of the keyboard again that some have noted in previous videos and on forums. And just as a point of comparison, this is my Chromebook. So now I'm going to type using the keyboard. This is going to be a quick test, and I am typing behind the camera, so it's a little difficult to do, but I'm just going to type some words and see how it feels. So that's just a few thoughts, opinions and tests on the keyboard. I haven't been able to use it that much yet, and with a keyboard it really is over a long period of time when you start to find out the little quirks and how it feels. It feels quite good actually to type. I didn't do too many mistakes there, and I'm a bit of a messy typer when it comes to typing stuff out. However, there is the concern about this flex in the keyboard. I do hope that this is not going to cause a long-term damage or problems to the keyboard. It seems to flex it back into position fine, but obviously when you've typed on the keyboard and made 100,000 key types, is that going to change? We'll, I guess, have to find out and really test the longevity of this keyboard, but it may put you off the initial purchase. Something really that none of us who have this laptop can answer until they've had it for a good couple of months. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. If you do want me to do any more tests with the keyboard, just ask and I'll certainly send you a comment about it or do a video on it. See you again soon in another P35W laptop review.